What is up, guys? DJ Neeks here, and no, you are not seeing an illusion. Yes, that is Destiny you are seeing on your screen, and I'm going to explain why you're seeing Destiny instead of Heroes of the Storm in the background during this channel update vlog, which I have not done in a while, on the screen. And that's actually part of the update. And so I figured let's do maybe a multiplayer match while I'm doing this. So anyway. Yes, it's been a while since I've done the last channel update vlog, and there were a couple things I was kind of wanting to brief you guys on. One thing, for those of you who have been waiting for the continuation of a couple different playthroughs I've been doing, specifically ones on the PC, like Book of Unwritten Tales and Heroes of the Storm, which two more heroes have come out. Rexar and Karazim, and, the monk from Diablo. And you're probably wondering, how come I haven't done a video on each of those heroes for Heroes of the Storm, and why have I not continued on Book of Unwritten Tales? Well, that's also the reason why I am showing Destiny instead of Heroes of the Storm, because unfortunately, my PC is currently out of commission at the moment. Here's what happened. There was a free update I was shown on, my PC for Windows 10. When I was checking for any software updates, it said you can reserve your free upgrade to Windows 10. And I thought, well, if it's free, I may as well check it out. I'm fine with Windows 8.1, what I've got right now, but let's go ahead and check it out. So I downloaded it, and at first it was like, oh, this is fine. And then all of a sudden I got this, an unexpected error has happened, your computer will restart. And I thought, okay, we'll just simply restart and fix whatever this problem is. I then get stuck on a black screen. And that is all I have had. Just a black screen with my cursor and the little blue loading wheel. That is it. And so I have what I think I've seen the internet call the Windows 10 black screen of death, because it will not do anything else. It won't go to anything else. It is stuck on this black screen. And I have not been able to figure out how to fix it. I've heard that I'm going to have to maybe get a thumb drive, which I do have, and remake the Windows 8.1 software, and I guess try and reboot or restart the computer, which is going to be a bit of a pain, but if that's what it's going to take, it's just one of those things where it's like, great, how do I fix this? And keep in mind, I'm not that computer savvy, I'm not that knowledgeable when it comes to computers and PCs. I know, like, basic stuff, and that's pretty much all I know. And trying to, like, really, know how to fix a computer when it's got this kind of issue is a bit difficult for me. This is where I wish I had a friend who's, like, super knowledgeable on computers. Like, oh yeah, I know how to fix this. Let me walk you through how to fix this. I'm more knowledgeable when it comes to Macs, honestly. You guys, I think I've said this before. I do record the PC games on this business PC I've got, which was a gift from a friend. It's not necessarily made for gaming, but it's still nice, and I'm still able to actually play PC games on it. But I record, and store my footage on my Mac, or more so, I have the drive I store my footage on hooked up to my Mac, and I have the recording software on the Mac. So, and I've been using a Mac for, the past numerous years. It wasn't until recent, like within the last couple of years, I actually was given that PC so I could actually have an actual PC to play certain games on, because you can't play certain games on a Mac. You won't allow it. It only is possible to play it on a PC. So, that being said, I'm not very knowledgeable on my own when it comes to that thing and how to fix PCs, in that regard. So that's why it's been a little bit like, great, how do I fix this, myself? That's how it's been for me. And so, while this has been happening, I haven't been able to actually use it at all. I can boot it up and I can get to the startup screen, but that's as far as I can get without, like, having a thumb drive with the previous software to try and reboot it or whatever. So I'm trying to fix that I'm in the process of trying to fix that. So now, if those of you watching are actually not more knowledgeable, which you probably would be, when it comes to fixing PCs and such, feel free to let me know in the comments any suggestions that you guys might have on how I could be able to actually fix it. Like if you've maybe have had a friend or encountered it yourself, this Windows black screen of death issue. If you know how to fix it, feel free to let me know in the comments so I can try that out, because I'm all up for any suggestions at all when it comes to trying to fix this, because I want to get this fixed. And one of the reasons why I want to get this fixed soon, not just to have it fixed, but also because, and this is another reason for this update, is that recently at an event, Blizzard announced the release date for StarCraft II Legacy of the Void, and it's going to be November 10th this year. So, two things right off the bat for this announcement pertaining to my channel. Number one, you guys know, because you probably have seen my playthroughs on my channel and my playlist, that I love StarCraft. I've done full playthroughs of StarCraft, Brood War, Wings of Liberty, and Heart of the Swarm. I love StarCraft. It's one of my favorite series ever. I have been dying to play this expansion and see how the rest of the story continues. And because of that, I have, I've already pre-ordered it at GameStop. I've pre-ordered the collector's edition because I want to get some of the things that come with it, including a behind-the-scenes DVD. That's going to be real nice for me. And, another thing is that because of that, there's no necessary guarantee of when I would actually get that footage up. If my PC is fixed by then, because obviously I have to go to the store to pick it up. Now, keep in mind that my job at Target, the scheduling is going to get pretty crazy because, of course, it's going to get pretty busy around a place like Target, with the scheduling and, everyone shopping for the holidays. So it's possible I would have difficulty actually picking up the game at GameStop around that time because of the scheduling. Now, I would definitely try to pick it up and get footage out as soon as I can, but if I'm a little slow in that regard, that would be the reason why. So, just a heads up. And if you're wondering, why didn't you just do it digitally? That's, I already said why, because I want to get the collector's edition. You can't get the collector's edition if you do it digital. So, another thing, number two, the other thing pertaining to that, that's the same day as the release of Fallout 4. Now, I'm pretty sure that a bunch of other channels are definitely going to be doing playthroughs of Fallout 4 when it comes out. Fallout 4, I understand, could arguably be the biggest release of the year, although you could certainly make a case for Arkham Knight and Witcher 3. But I can definitely understand why a lot of people would be that excited to do that and would definitely be doing playthroughs of that. Now, if you're wondering, well, are you going to do a playthrough of Fallout 4? Well, here's the thing, guys. When it comes to Fallout, I'm a bit of a novice when it comes to the series. I've never played New Vegas. I tried to play Fallout 3. I started it, and I was kind of progressing through the beginning part, and unfortunately, it just kind of didn't necessarily grip me. I was not very... it didn't grab me, it didn't get me, where it motivated me to keep going, and I want to see what happens, in a place, in a story like that. It didn't do that at the beginning. Now, I think maybe it gets better as you go along, but early on, it just didn't get me motivated to keep going. There was this huge open world, and I just didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. And there was a whole system involving the bottle caps and everything that I didn't really understand or fully get. So I just kind of was like, I'm not really sure I want to keep playing this. And I just kind of stopped. Well, that was kind of cheap. The guy kills me after the mission's over. Whatever. My team won. And so because of that, I'm rather much of a novice when it comes to Fallout. And thus I'm not really, one of those who's like, oh, I'm dying to do a playthrough of this, because I've never done a playthrough of Fallout 3. I've never actually finished Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. I've never really played those or beaten those. Now, I'm definitely very interested, though, in actually playing Fallout 4 on my own. In fact, I've already pre-ordered that, and I'll be picking that up as well. Because I was very impressed by Bethesda when they showed it at E3. They did quite a really good job of showcasing the game there, and making you excited to actually want to play it. And I think maybe this is the game that could actually get me excited and, interested in the franchise. It seems like it would be easy to get into for newcomers like myself, who maybe I wasn't that, enamored with the series at first with Fallout 3, because, that was out in, 2008? A lot has changed in terms of graphics and how games look, and how, the textures, and, because when you would see them run and walk in Fallout 3, it was kind of silly looking. But a lot has changed since then. It looked gorgeous at E3. So, but I'm just not sure how I would do and how it would go. I'm not sure how good the story is. So, that's one of those, we'll see. I'll play it on my own time, and then if I feel it's good enough for a playthrough, maybe I'll do it, but I hear Fallout games are pretty long. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm currently doing some games on my own time off camera. I'm actually playing Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain on my own. Since I still am not sure about the status of me doing Metal Gear Solid playthroughs on this channel. But I'll talk more about that in a second. Let me put it this way. A lot of other YouTube channels will definitely be doing playthroughs of Fallout 4 on that day. But I think some others, including my own, will be more excited about playing Legacy of the Void and its campaign and, story campaign compared to Fallout 4. So that's what you can definitely expect, is that if you're one of those who's more excited about seeing Legacy of the Void and its story as opposed to Fallout 4, well, you'll definitely count on my channel to be able to do that. So that's something, I'll definitely be wanting to do that. And, obviously, it'll really depend more so on whether or not I get my PC fixed by then. I'm hoping I can. I just need to try and take the time to do it. But like I said, if you have any suggestions, feel more than free to let me know in the comments, so that I can try and see if I can figure it out. And any assistance from you guys would definitely be appreciated in trying to help me get my PC ready to go by the time Legacy of the Void comes out. So, that's the situation with my PC and playthroughs on the PC. But what about other things you can expect? Well, you can definitely expect more Darksiders, more Deus Ex Human Revolution. Darksiders 2 is coming out on PlayStation 4 next month, so I'm hoping to maybe have Darksiders 1 done around that time, and then continue with Darksiders 2 on PS4 after that, so we can do that series. There we go. Ow. Sorry, lost my concentration there, obviously with the match going on. And obviously, Deus Ex Mankind Divided got a release date. It's coming out in February, so I'm going to try and see if I can get to work on Deus Ex and try and work on that and finish that up by the time Mankind Divided comes out. Also, you can expect some more of BioShock Infinite. Been working on that. I was glad I was able to get BioShock 2 done, including the Minerva's Den DLC, and then get to work on BioShock Infinite. I'm definitely also going to want to do the Burial at Sea DLCs, once I'm done with the main story of BioShock Infinite. And you can definitely expect that. Also, you can probably, let's see, I'm thinking of, what's the other thing I'm currently working on? I I do want to say thank you for those of you who have been watching and giving me feedback on the Trespasser DLC for Dragon Age. I was kind of surprised at how much attention it was getting. I've seen it's been getting a lot of views, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I love getting the comments and the feedback on the videos. I love that more comments have been coming in, especially on those videos. That I'm able to interact with you guys more so, be able to reply to those comments and converse with you guys, what you're thinking of when it comes to the videos. And those of you who have been saying comments like great video, great job, things like that. You guys don't really know how much it means to me. There's probably no better feeling for a YouTuber than to see comments where people are saying that they really enjoy your content and that they think you do a good job with your videos. It means a lot because some of us put a lot of work into our videos, and to know that there are people that think you're doing a good job, it means a lot. It really does. So, again, thank you for that. The other series I was trying to remember that I just remembered, it's Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I'm kind of getting back into Assassin's Creed a bit. So I'm kind of, working on that from time to time. So at the time being, you can expect those 4 different series: Assassin's Creed, BioShock, Deus Ex, and Darksiders. For the time being. Eventually, I'll probably also get back into Sly Cooper 2 at some point soon. But oh wait, there he was. But I'm not really sure how soon I'll get back into that. Also, I'm entertaining. I've been entertaining an idea recently, and I'm hoping that you guys will like this idea. You guys know that I love Mass Effect. Mass Effect is my favorite video game trilogy ever. I'm very proud of the playthroughs that I did of all 3 Mass Effect games. If you guys haven't seen those, I hope you get a chance, take some time and get a chance to check those out. I'm very happy about those playthroughs, although there are some things about the early, like the first game, that, oh wow, these guys are just sitting here, that, the quality of the first game playthrough, this was back, when I first started doing the Mass Effect trilogy, the first game, this was back before I got my channel, approved to be able to do videos longer than 15 minutes, and wow, they're just kind of sitting here. Look at that. And so because of that, I was kind of trying to make very short, 10 to 15 minute videos, because that was all I was allowed to do. Since then, my account has gotten, been in good standing, and it's allowed to do, you guys have seen it. I've now, speaking of the Dragon Age videos, the last video was over an hour long, so, oh man, didn't even see that guy there. So yeah, it's, it was over an hour long, so I've sometimes done hour-long videos now. So I think that if I if I did the trilogy again, I would be able to re-record the original game in a much better quality than I did before. And hopefully, it would mean that it would be a more enjoyable and watchable playthrough, compared to when I originally played the original Mass Effect game and did a playthrough for that. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for that. That if I replay it, but here's the thing, I'm not just wanting to replay it just for the sake of replaying it. That would be kind of confusing. I'm thinking of doing a full-on Renegade playthrough, where the playthrough I did for the trilogy was mainly Paragon, and that he was loyal to one romance partner the whole time. He was loyal to Liara the whole time, and was mainly Paragon the whole way, and he was an engineer. I'm thinking of doing it again, but this time, let's do it differently. Let's do a full Renegade playthrough, because some of the Renegade choices are pretty amazing, pretty interesting, pretty cool. It's pretty funny, and but it's also kind of because I want to show how different the series can be if you go on full Renegade instead of full Paragon. How different it can be if you decide to do different choices, as opposed to like how some games you'll do some choices, but it'll still be the same thing. But that in Mass Effect, if you do the Renegade choices, it can be quite different than Paragon. There are some things that are drastically different in Mass Effect if you go Renegade as opposed to if you go Paragon. So that's one of the reasons why I'm wanting to replay the series and just do a full Renegade playthrough. But I'm also entertaining a couple different things about it. Like, one, since I did a male first time, do I do a femme shep this time? I mean, I'm a big fan of Jennifer Hale and her work. She does a great female Commander Shepard. But I'm kind of wanting to stick with a male Shepard because, honestly, and this is kind of something I think some of the BioWare community agrees on, is that Mass Effect is more, when it comes to the romance options, it's more friendly for the male Shepard than it is for the female Shepard. There are more romance options for male Shep than there is for female Shep. Whereas in Dragon Age, there are more options for the female protagonists than there are for the male protagonists, especially in Dragon Age Inquisition. Like, although I would say that there are a couple, I would say, that in Origins, I mean, yeah, it's got a good Liliana romance for the male, but that's, and plus Morgan. But in 2 and Inquisition, I think it definitely does favor the female protagonist. Whereas Mass Effect favors the male protagonist. So that's something that, one reason why I think I would want to stick with the male Commander Shepard to replay the trilogy, as opposed to playing through as a female, even though it would be kind of different, I think I would want to do that. Now, I already have a Renegade character for both male and female already at high level for Mass Effect 1, so, if I did do that, I could just continue, restart those characters since they're like level 56 or 57, and we'd be like at a high level, get them to level 60 by the end, so I don't have to worry about going around grinding and leveling up. And if I did any of the side stuff, it would be kind of like off camera, as opposed to how I did it in the first run I did, where I did show a lot of the side content. I can understand why it would be boring to watch. I would try and cut a lot of that out so I could just focus on the story stuff, since I would already be at a high level and probably be level 60 early on. And then obviously some different things about the character, how this Commander Shepard would be different compared to this, to my first Commander Shepard from my Paragon playthrough. So that's something I'm very much entertaining, wanting to do. I'm just kind of like flopping back and forth, like, on those key elements there. Like, it's something I definitely want to do, because I saw a friend of mine, she started playing the trilogy for the first time ever. She never played it before, and she decided to play Renegade the first time. And it's just, there's always something special for me about seeing someone play that trilogy for the first time ever and begin that epic journey. And plus seeing the Renegade options was pretty hilarious. Seeing some of those, and it was like, man, sometimes is just completely fun to go full on Renegade in this series, because some of the choices are just great. I know I've said that. That's why I like to call these Neeks Rambles, because I'm just rambling on at this point. But yeah, that's something I would say definitely expect. Also, a cool little thing I'd found out recently is that while Book of Unwritten Tales 1 is on hiatus until I fix my PC, when I get to Book of Unwritten Tales 2, I will be switching over to the PlayStation 4, because they actually released it for consoles. You can now get it on PlayStation. I think you can get it on Xbox. So the reason for that is just because it's easier for me to record on PS4. I don't have these kinds of crash or black screen of death issues on my PS4 like I do on my PC. It's just easier for me to do that. So I know for some people it may be easier on their PC, but I have a different situation than some of those other people, as I have already explained. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So you can expect those games eventually. At some point I'll get back to the Sly series, because I know Sly 2 is there. But one last thing, as in regards to Metal Gear Solid, because yeah, I did upload part 1, but I included a comment that said, the status of this playthrough is in question until I am somehow able to figure out or deal with the copyright situation with this series. Because here's the bottom line with this series, guys. Konami is such a pain when it comes to copyright and people uploading videos of the Metal Gear Solid games. When I tried to upload part 2 some time ago when I made it and I tried to upload it, here's what happened. The initial cutscene got flagged twice. I'm not kidding. I had 2 copyright notices, and that's something I want to point out. They're notices, not strikes, so they weren't restricting the viewership of that video. It was just claiming the monetization for themselves. But it was 2 notices of the same exact cutscene. Now, I've never seen that before in any other copyright notices I've ever gotten. But if I'm seeing 2 exact same copyright notices for the exact same cutscene, then I know that there's a bit of a problem. And I know that that could be a problem in terms of me being able to record the entire series, because otherwise, I mean, how am I supposed to... I mean, it's not music, it's the cutscenes, because it says audio-visual content. And there's no way for me to dispute that, really, other than to say it's fair use, but, that doesn't... You can't just say everything is fair use. You have to, give a legit reason, these days, because otherwise they'll just reinstate the claim, and that could lead to a strike against your account, and that's something I do not want. I don't want to get any strikes on my account. So, I mean, if it's just notices, I think I could live with that. Because I want to show the series. I want to show the story of this Metal Gear Solid series. I love the series. I love the story, the overall story of the series. It's fantastic. I just want to be allowed to do so by the publisher, but they're being, a pain in the butt about it. But I think I could live with it if it's just notices and they're claiming monetization for it. Well, it's like, okay, well, I guess I could live with that as long as it doesn't threaten the status of my channel. But it's one of those, I want to err on the side of caution, because, well, you never know, and I think that it could lead to maybe some other consequences doing it that way, but, I want to, but I don't know. It's still something I'm still struggling with. I'm leaning towards doing it at some point someday, but it would have to be something I would have to really think about, because, or maybe this whole thing with Konami, if they go in the tanker, who knows, maybe those will get the strikes, or the notices from them will get lenient or something, I don't know. I see, from what I've been hearing, I think Konami is, nearing the end. THQ went out of business. I wouldn't be surprised if Konami does too. They've just been doing some things that could mean the end of their company. Especially after this whole, divorce, with Hideo Kojima. And you know what they say about ugly divorces, never ends well for either party. But, I don't know, Kojima may end up fine, but I don't think Konami's going to end up fine, not with some of the decisions they've been making lately, in other areas. But, yeah, that's kind of the status for the possible Metal Gear Solid series, even though I've uploaded part 1. So, I don't know. It's just a big who knows. I don't know yet. I mean, I actually sent a letter to Konami asking if I could get the, permission to do so. I never got a response. It was months ago, maybe around a year ago when I sent that. I never got a response, ever. So that tells me that it's yeah, guess what? Good luck. You're not going to get any response from Konami in that regard. Not unless you're, super well known. And let's face it, I'm not that well known. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. So, yeah. That's kind of what's going on in terms of what you can expect. Those playthroughs, ongoing, those 4 I listed, as well as Slide 2 eventually. Definitely... Legacy of the Void when that comes out in November, and more than likely another run of the Mass Effect trilogy, but this time full-on Renegade, and possibly I mean, I'm leaning towards doing male ship because there are some romances with some, the male ship has that I wouldn't mind doing as a renegade. Um, you know, considering how I really didn't do that much of it in the Paragon one because I pretty much just stuck with Liara the whole time. Obviously, it would be kind of different if I'm doing a renegade. So yeah, that's kind of what you can expect, and hopefully continuation of Book and Written Tales and more Heroes of the Storm when I eventually get my PC fixed. And like I said before, if you guys have any suggestions or recommendations of how I can be able to fix that, those of you who watch who maybe are more knowledgeable about PCs, if you're wondering, what I have is an HP Elite One 800 business PC. It's an all-in-one business PC, Elite One 800 HP, or maybe it's a 700, I think. But anyway, that's the kind of business PC I use, and I'm hoping that I will still be able to, that I'll be able to fix it soon at some point so that those can be able to continue, as well as some other PC games I have in mind. Like, eventually I want to do Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and start working on that series so that I can eventually someday do the Old Republic MMO, but I would have to wait till I get a better actual gaming PC to do that game because it constantly crashes on me with what I'm currently playing on. So, but Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2, I think run fine on what I've currently got. But that's something I'm also entertaining at some point. I definitely want to do that at some point in the future. I just don't know how soon. When in the future I want to do that. So, yeah. That's basically what you can expect. And if you're also wondering, well, since I'm seeing Destiny, would you do Destiny at some point? No. Not until they actually have a really good story, because they really had a hilarious lack of one, but I don't want to start ranting about how ridiculous the lack of a story is in this game. In fact, I'll quote a character in this game. I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain. That is my favorite line in this game, because it's so ridiculous, and it epitomizes how lazy the lack of a story that there is in this game. But anyway, yeah, this is, I don't want to start ranting about how ridiculous of a lack of a story that there is in this game. But I will say the Taken King DLC actually did kind of help the story somewhat, in terms of they gave a couple characters, specifically Nathan Fillion's character, an opportunity to actually have a personality because, well, he was voiced by Nathan Fillion. And if you're going to have a character kind of lead the way for the story in the DLC, may as well be Nathan Fillion, right? So anyway, this has been a Neeks Rambles channel update vlog video. Where I just ramble on. But I hope that gives you guys an idea of what's kind of going on with my channel in terms of playthroughs and such. So, yeah, I hope that this has been a helpful update for you guys to know what's going on, what to expect. And one last thing before I end this video, I mentioned how much I enjoyed the comments and the feedback I was getting during the Dragon Age videos. I was getting numerous comments in the videos. I love that, and I want more of that. I want more of that to keep going, to keep continuing. If you guys have any comments to say about any of the videos I've made, if you have any requests, any questions about anything, if you have any recommendations or suggestions or requests in terms of games that you want me to do playthroughs of someday, Neeks, would you ever do a playthrough of this game? Could you do a playthrough of this game? This game I really like the story of. Would you ever consider doing a playthrough of that? Questions like that. Send them to me, and I would love to get requests like that. So I can entertain it. Would I fulfill every request I get? Probably not. I mean, there are certain games I think I may never do playthroughs of that are too mature, raunchy, and inappropriate for my taste, as well as the taste of some other younger viewers I have. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't appreciate getting the requests, So any requests you guys have, you can leave comments in the video, or question, or you could send me a message, a personal message. I get those and I read those. And I also have a Twitter. You guys can always, send me a tweet, on at Mr. Neeks. You can find the link to that on my channel page here on YouTube. You can use any of those different ways to communicate with me, to send me comments or ask me questions, things like that. Like I said, I want more of that. I love that. I encourage, let's have that, because I would love to interact with you guys more so. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it for this update, and I hope that you guys will enjoy some of the content I have upcoming that I have in mind, that you guys will be able to enjoy it as much as I do. And, yeah, I will see you guys next time.